Hey, this is Topher right here on Geek Public Radio. We're coming to you on all of the platforms, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and our own members only section. We have a lot of stuff to talk about. With me, as usual, is Chris.
Woo! You were naming off all the platforms, man, and I was like, I don't know if I've got enough fingers anymore. Like, what do I do with my hands? I don't know what to do.
We do have them when they all go through. And now then my phone decides, that I'm not paying attention to it and wants to tell me that we're on everything.
I'm sorry. Good evening, everybody. This is Crazy Chris. How's it going?
So, you had a really long weekend. Had a fun weekend.
It was fun. It was long, but it was
fun. What happened?
Do you want me to tell the Richard Dreyfuss story? Because that's really where I want to start.
Okay, we'll start with the Richard Dreyfuss story. I mean, does it have like a big shark involved or aliens?
No. It involves the demise of specific celebrities who shut down entire restaurants.
Okay.
I don't care how big you get, people. You listen to me good. This goes out to Frankie G, Big Frank, and Thomas, and Kyle, and everybody else that had to endure this. When you get famous, do not shut down the only restaurant in a freaking 5-mile radius that's open for the hotel because you want to have a special party. Don't do that.
I mean, you could at least been invited.
It was horrible. We spent 3 hours looking for food.
No.
Like, I felt like a real pioneer for the first time ever. Which, you spent 3 hours looking for food. I literally push a handicapped person around in a wheelchair. Okay, so for 3 hours, for me, that's like 9 hours of walking. Okay, so.
I mean, make you stronger.
Other than that single hiccup, no, honestly, we actually had like a spectacular time. Met some kick-ass people. I met Night Art Productions. I met Josh Warner, one of the authors and comic book writer, dude, graphic novel and stuff. Like, he's awesome. Alice Cooper, Pet Peaches. That was pretty dope. Can't lie.
Yeah, see the pictures and everybody was talking about it. Don
Wallace loves her.
Don apparently didn't realize what was going on.
Not a clue.
Wasn't paying attention until he saw people taking pictures.
Yep, Captain Oblivious was oblivious. Yeah. I saw him, but I didn't think to grab my camera and take a picture. Like, it just makes sense.
Well, apparently, from what was online, there was enough pictures being taken.
Yeah, I think we ended up getting 3 or 4 at least.
Right.
But yeah, it was
just
pretty
the
awesome.
ones that got sent to you.
Right.
It's not
it's been going around, so yeah. But it was a pretty cool time, man. We met all types of amazing people. We networked with some pretty incredible people. It was funny because when Alice Cooper, Pet Peaches, he said he was teasing and he's like, it's like the scariest thing I've seen all weekend. Because Peaches is like the most docile animal on the entire planet. So he's like, the scariest thing I've seen all weekend. I said, you think that's scary? You're going to love the Black Book. So I threw the movie. I half-heartedly threw a movie pitch or threw the movie sale at Alice Cooper, and he laughed. He was like, all right, I'll come back. And I was like, yeah, I'm sure.
You should have looked at him and said, all right, I just have one thing to say. Don't read the book.
Right. Just don't read it, Alice Cooper. Just don't read the book. It was a good week of sales. It was actually a little bizarre. We actually did better at Days of the Dead Indie, which I felt like was weird, but
not by much. I mean,
it wasn't by a whole lot, but it was really weird.
Looking at the number wise, it was like Scarefest for us. Friday was down.
Yeah,
but Saturday and Sunday were
popping.
We're good. In Chicago, Sunday was down. Your Friday and Saturday were good.
Way down.
But your Friday and Saturday were good.
Yeah,
so,
it was. I mean, we had a lot of fun. And honestly, Sunday, with it winding down the way that it was, and with the sales being a little bit slower, it allowed myself and Jassel to get out from behind the booth and actually go and look at stuff and like sample some wares and really kind of reinforce some of the connections we made. Picked up some dope new beard oil. Oh, hang on. Let me back in. You're roboting already, man. So it's only been like 3 minutes.
Right. Sounds like you had a really, really good time. If you want to check out what we're talking about with all of this stuff, check out the Black Book at Rutledge Productions, blackbookmovie.com.
Blackbookmovie.com.
Figured while we were waiting on you to come back in, I'd throw a little plug.
No, that's fine. I don't have to do it later then.
We will, because he'll ask.
He likes it. We actually got some cool flavors.
Oh, cool.
It's a couple of new beard oils that I got from a dude that runs this little shop called Death and Body Works. It was pretty cool.
Death and Body Works?
Death and Body Works. Yeah. I was like, it's a pretty clever marketing name, I can't lie. But he ended up being kind of like the hero on Friday. I got done with the convention. I went downstairs and didn't have any food again. So I planned ahead on Saturday, but then ended up getting screwed anyway. So it was like, whatever. But here it is like 11 o'clock when the convention ended on Friday. And I didn't really think about everything pretty much just being completely shut down and closed. And so this guy, Dave, was like, hey, I've got some chili. It's actually his wife, Bonnie. And she was like, well, Dave makes it. I think Dave's still got some convention chili if you want some chili. And I was like, I would love some chili. And they did. They went up to the room, came down with a bowl of chili. And so I bought them both a drink. And I was like, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much. And the chili was dynamite. Bought some hot sauce from Frankie G. Frankie G's hot sauce from Experiment 53, which I got the copy of. Boop, boop, boop. I picked up some loot, man. I picked up some swag.
Right.
We picked up Experiment 53.
Those were the guys right next to us that actually went all the way to Chicago to find somebody that was just down the road from us.
Literally just down the road from us in Indiana. Yeah. But yeah, shout out to those guys, man. They're awesome. I actually finished Experiment 53. I'll have the review up for that by the end of the night. But yeah, it was a fun movie. I liked it. It's definitely an indie film for sure, but I enjoyed it. Spoiler.
Did you? I hopped online and was checking out their stuff when you mentioned them, and because every picture that Don was sending me was of their booth.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah.
Every 5 seconds, I'm like, okay, like I get it. You fell in love with these people, okay? So I was checking stuff out, and the animation they had on one of the things was actually like I dug it. I had. I would love to work with them on that style of project.
Oh, for sure. I see a collaboration coming in the future, and I definitely want to spread my wings in whatever production they make next. I definitely want to be in the film for sure, because I just watched Experiment 53 and I was like, man, this could be so much fun. Like, you could tell there's a few scenes that you could tell how much fun they were having, and they were trying to hide it, but it was still like you could tell. And I was like, man, looks like the type of film that I would love working on. But while I was at it, I picked up High on the Hog with Sid Haig. So it was a Sid Haig flick, and he was asking the guys at the booth, were like, well, which one do you want? You want Skeletons or High on the Hog? And I was like, I'm a huge Sid Haig fan, man. I got to have High on the Hog. So we grabbed that. It was described to me as boobs and blood. And I was like, I'm sold. You got me. You got me at 80s horror. So,
favorite things right there.
It really was, man. Like, we had an absolute blast. Yeah, I wish you were there, honestly, because the networking stuff that we do at those conventions is so dynamic and fun. And I had so many people asking, well, what are you guys doing for this? What are you guys doing for that? What kind of cameras do you guys use? And I'm like, I'm an actor.
And what's funny is Don doesn't know any of that stuff either.
No, Don had no idea. It was really funny. I was like, ask the executive producer guy.
He doesn't know that like 90% of Black Book was shot on Ursa Minis.
Well, what was it shot on?
An Ursa Mini.
There you go. Thank you. See, there you go,
4K.
Guys. You watch the podcast, you learn exactly what type of camera that we use. So yeah, I knew it was a 4K camera. I tell people that. I'm like, it was definitely shot in
What I did was
We should experiment with that phone.
I edited in 4K, or we shot it in 4K. I dumbed it down to high
1080.
def, 1080.
Mhm.
Did all the edits so it didn't break the computer. But the computer that I did literally could edit 8K video.
Yeah, we figured that out too, which was great. But
so
shout out to those guys, and I had a lot of fun with them. It was Kyle, Thomas, Frankie, Frank, but of all people, by the way, like just randomly running into the angry chef, Toxic Roach on TikTok. The guy that's takes the food orders, and like he's like, why would you order that? Like they were like, oh, I want a grilled cheese, but make it like burn it, like burn everything. And he's like, what? It's like charcoal. Just ask for charcoal. But yeah, I met that guy. We hung out, had Friendsgiving together, like because of that whole Richard Dreyfuss crazy mishmash scenario. We actually ended up having Friendsgiving together, so it was really kind of cool. Shout out to the Creep Street podcast. I know I didn't get your information, guys, but I did get your sticker. I remember the sticker. I never got your information. I never gave you my information, so I will reach out to you guys. But here you go. Here's your shout out, Creep Street podcast. I told him I would. So, and then while I'm still doing my shout outs, the Dolls of Horror podcast, you guys were awesome. Came by the booth and we sat and chit chatted for a minute about horror movies and movie reviews and all kinds of crazy nonsense. And then this was the funny one. So this movie critic comes by, right? So what was the name of, oh man. Half-assed hell, half-assed. That's it. Half-assed movie reviews from hell. And these pair of guys that like bought the book and they bought the movie and they were like, "Oh, dude, we're definitely going to do like an entire episode about this." The half-assed movie reviews from hell. I can't wait to watch that. It's going to be stupid funny.
Well, you got to remember last time you guys handed out stuff, we got like a 50-50 review.
None of those guys reviewed our stuff. But one of the guys from fearmag.com, the guys from Experiment 53, the guys Night Art Productions, the guys from Night Art Productions were they were trying to sell their movie to the critic. And the critic was like, I dare you. And so I swooped in. I was like, really, you dare? Okay, I got you, bro. So I swooped in there real quick and I was like, here, I dare you to I said, I dare you to read this book. And he looked at me and he goes, what? I was like, I dare you to read this book, and then I dare you to watch the movie. He's like, okay, I'm a movie critic. And I was like, good. I said, Gen Con Film Festival thought we were featured film of the year. What trophies do you give out? He goes, all right, you're pretty cocky about it. And I was like, yeah. I said, I'm sure you'll give us a 1 or a 2 because it's the type of guy you are. I said, but I'll put it up against it. I said, because at the end of the day, if you click that 1-star button, you're lying. He goes, he's like, I don't know he's like, are you reverse psychology to me right now? I was like, I might be. So I gave him the bookmark with the Amazon book on it and stuff like that. So he was really cool. But yeah, they're going to check it out on Amazon. He's going to review it. I told him, I said, dude, if you love it or hate it, I said, don't be that jerk that ruins an indie film studio. I said, give us 5 stars. I said, you can be as honest as you want on your review on fearmag.com. I said, but absolutely do not blast us on Amazon and ruin us trying to get more movies made, dude. Don't be that guy. And he looked at me and he goes, oh, that's fair. That's fair. He's like, if I don't like it, I won't rate it. How about that? And I was like, I accept. I totally accept that. Don't be that troll, man. Because he's like, honestly, I have to speak to this for a second. I'm sorry, Chris. I know I'm like dominating so much of the time.
Go ahead.
I'm really excited, but I need to speak to this for a second, guys. I know there are probably some of you out there that watch our movies and stuff, and you think you're being funny, and give him 1 star. Huh? Honestly, that guy, that freaking kills us. Like, that actually hurts us when people look at our content and when they think about, like, maybe booking us for a movie. That actually hurts. Like, it doesn't hurt me. It doesn't hurt my feelings that you don't like the movie because you're entitled to your opinion. But when you go on to something and you intentionally drag it down, not on Amazon, because the people on Amazon have been really awesome, but like on IMDb, for instance, when you guys do that kind of crap to even any other movie too, not just ours, like any of those movies, like we made Black Book on a budget of less than $25K. And it was actually less. I think than less than 20K, but I could be mistaken. I think it was less than 20K.
It was like all put together. I think it was just over 10.
Yeah. So the fact that after all this time, and we did what we did with that type of budget, and we're being judged for it. Well, we could tell it's an indie film. Well, of course, it's an indie film. It was made on like a minimal budget, and it's not a Sundance film that gets $400,000 or $500,000, and some of them get like $995,000.
Well, and it's not just that. A lot of people go, especially since we're at horror conventions. A lot of people come at it like, well, this is like looking at it as a horror movie. We made a scary-ish movie for kids. I mean, like, basically, it literally was made. I made something that my son,
young adult. I wouldn't say kids, but young adult.
Right. I made it so my 15-year-old at the time when we first started making it could watch it.
Right. And I showed it to my kids, and they loved it.
Right.
They super enjoyed it.
So when you have adults coming in and taking a low budget movie that was not geared for adult people to begin with,
right,
we get a lower score,
and it is. And I've seen a couple of fair reviews on there, and I'm not knocking those. I'm talking about the people who are like, somebody gave us a 1-star review.
The last one that we had was a 1-star. Pass this by. This sucked.
Right. Well, the 1-star that got me was this. It was a 1-star review, and it said, "This looks stupid."
Yeah, like didn't even watch
the movie. Just said, "This looks stupid," and then just gave it a 1-star. And I'm like, "What?"
We had
guys, don't review stuff if you haven't watched it, unless you absolutely hate the person, and then I understand because pettiness is a thing. But don't.
Right, but we haven't done anything to deserve being hated on. So
not like that. So I know you guys think you're being funny, and I'm probably feeding the trolls right now. They're gonna be like, "Hey, Crazy Chris is whining." No, you can have whatever opinion you want because ultimately we're going to succeed regardless of what you do. You're making it harder for me, but that's going to make my victory and it's going to make our victory that much sweeter when we start pumping out some of these bigger budget movies, when we start landing some of these bigger name actors, and then we're going to go back and every review, they're like, "This movie is so awesome." We're going to delete your review. Just delete it. Whoop. Where'd it go? Don't know where that happened.
I will have to say that for the trailer, just the trailer, I had to shut off comments.
Yeah. People are just hateful.
And it would literally, like, we'd get thumbs up, we'd do whatever. The only people that were posting stuff like,
there's no words.
Well, no, there is words. It's just trying to be tactful about how, what they were. They were a lot of slurs and homophobic statements stated in these things. So I was just like, no, done.
Yeah, it was bad, but I'm not trying to be negative here because ultimately the entire movie thing, the experience, it was all 100% positive, all across the board, and we super enjoy every person that watches it. And the thing about it is, if you bought the movie and you watched it, you didn't like it, hey, them's the breaks. I get it. You may not have liked the movie.
It wasn't like it was much. It was cheaper to get that than go to the movies and be let down.
Right. And not only that, but like every single copy that we sent out got autographed.
Yeah.
So even if you didn't necessarily like that one, the next one that Rutledge Production puts out and Geek Publishing puts out, you might like that one. These movies are getting better with each passing iteration. When we started with the Tube, and you see the quality of the Tube, which wasn't horrible, but it definitely wasn't good. And then you move on to Black Book, and I mean, we took home an award. We literally won Best Feature Film because they recognized what that movie was, what it was geared to do, how it was created, and they understood the blood, sweat, and tears that went into that. And I say this at the conventions, and I'll say it now. I will stack that movie against any movie with a budget of less than $12,000.
Yeah,
I'll stack it against any of them, and I promise you that one will
win. Yeah, no, and that is the truth. We do come out looking. Yeah, we look low budget or whatever, but we come out looking at a way higher budget, like we have a way higher budget
than we actually do. And that's actually jaded some of the reviews because they think we have a bigger budget than we did. And we're like, nope, bro, this was done with like minimal budget.
Right.
But yeah, so to the critics out there, the real critics, judge the movie as you see fit. I get it. You got a job to do. I'm not telling you not to do your job. Judge the movie. To the trolls, eat up, get big and,
like
strong.
I said,
Because when we
and
steamroll
that
you,
was
nobody blame but you.
that was one of the things that I wanted. When we were in Indianapolis, and the one convention that I was able to make before my issues,
Before your brain was like, nope.
Right. The I would tell people who were coming to, like, because we had a couple people walk up and talk about reviewing the movie and all of this stuff. Part of me thinks that they were just trying to get a free copy of the movie, but
sure.
I always preface the thing where like, hey, cool, we appreciate you taking a look at the movie, all of this stuff. However, remember it is geared towards teenagers.
Yeah.
The younger audience. It's not, it's a PG-13 horror movie.
Absolutely. And the cool thing about these conventions and us getting to go to these is while, it may be slow or it may not turn out quite the way that we want it to, we get to network and we get to meet some awesome people. And I will never, ever disparage that. And even if we never did another film, I can hang my head high and go, yeah, we were in this cool film. We met a lot of great people. Alice Cooper pet the dog. Like that. I mean, that's fantastic. I
got to sit and have a conversation with Bill Moseley
twice now, which is awesome. And on top of that, like I sat across from C. Thomas Howell and he complimented me. He was like, I've been listening to your pitch all week. He goes, and that pitch is awesome. Or he's like, all weekend. He's like, and that pitch is awesome. He's like, you guys are slinging those movies. And I was like, do you want one? Then he was like, well, he's like, I need to do my laps. He's like, so I'll probably stop by. Well, he ended up closing down a little bit earlier, so he never came by. But it was awesome, and I have absolutely nothing negative to say about these things. And as a matter of fact, the coolest part about that is because we get to make these connections. Like I met Audrey Dead Red Lane, right? So Audrey Lane, film festival director, and I got to sit there and network with her for PopCon. And she was like, oh, you guys like to do film festivals? You should submit your film to the film festival. I'm like, bro. Like
we have, and she declined us.
Did she really?
Yeah.
She walked by and she saw that Gen Con 2021 feature film award and sang a different tune.
Yeah, no, because PopCon was before Gen Con.
Yep. She sang a different tune. Yeah, she saw that award. She goes, huh. And I was like, yeah. I was like, we submitted this to Gen Con. She goes, well, I run a film festival. I'd love to see it. So she either forgot or she wasn't the one that declined it. Regardless, meeting people like that.
Right.
And even people who can change their mind.
I'll be honest, and that's why I want to look at doing an animation thing. One, yeah, it's not as taxing on our side of things. It's more the animator. But we do have the facilities to do the voiceover stuff, to recording all the voices. We have all of that. We have the technology to do all of that stuff, and we have plenty of scripts just laying around that could be easily slid over to animation.
Oh, easily, 100% adopted into certain animation forms for sure. But
but that would also hit Gen Con, PopCon, all of those. The pop culture conventions would be a lot easier for us to slide in an animated thing.
Oh yeah.
As long as it looked good, the sound was good, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, no, that's awesome." We might even bring home some animated,
some more hardware.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I met some cool artists. This dude Tim Harris from Metal Devil Art.
Mm-hmm.
He actually works with steel, and he's got a shop out in Texas, out in Odessa, and he takes all of these pieces of metal and he makes like horror, iconic horror imagery from the metal, and he welds it down and cuts it all out, and it looks amazing. He did one with the Scream Ghostface from the Scream franchise, and it's got red interlaced behind it, and it's like a fluorescent neon type red where it like glows almost. And it looked really cool, and I was like, "That's what's metal?" And he's like, "Yeah." I was like, "That looks awesome, bro." So he does some cool work with that. Guy makes his own silicone masks, and they're amazing. Like, he was putting them on, and the thing about it was, he was like, "These are pretty much one size fits all because of the way we do the core." And there's a whole technical scientific thing that I didn't completely understand because I don't work with silicone, nor do I work with injection molds. So I have no idea. But he knew what he was talking about, and I was confident in it. So, but he has these masks. He's like, "Yeah, you got to try this on." So I put this whole thing in. I mean, it snugly fit to my face. And when I moved my mouth and my eyes, like, it moved with it. It was amazing. So, yeah, like the guys down at Seven Silicone, Blackgate Magazine, we met those folks. They were awesome. I got the lady that helps do Blackgate Magazine and her daughter to buy a copy of the book and the movie. So the daughter, she was really super interested in the book, and I was like, "Yeah," I said, "You're gonna love it." And I got to tell you the sweet story. So this grandma and grandson were at the horror movie convention. They were at Days of the Dead, and they were walking around having a good time. And they come by the booth, and this kid comes by, and he's very excited. He's been at like 5 or 6 of the horror, or the Days of the Dead conventions in Chicago. He was having an absolute blast. So he's maybe, I think he was 13 years old, and he on Friday buys a book. Saturday he comes by with like this little creepy teddy bear, and he's like, "Yeah, I started reading the book, and this guy just appeared. I don't know what's going on." And I was like, "That's awesome, Joe." You know, so. Sunday rolls by and he doesn't have it with. I was like, "Where's your friend?" And he goes, "I don't know." He's like, "He just disappeared." I was like, "That's pretty awesome, pretty creative, well, free thinking kid, very imaginative." And Grandma comes by the booth and she gives me this pen so I can sign the books. And she's like, "I wanted to give you that. I wanted to give you this pen so you could sign the books. I figured you could use a nice pen." And she starts going like that. She's like, "See, his eyeball pops out." She was such a sweetheart, man. And I was like, "Oh, you're so sweet." And one more story. I mean, I'll tell more stories, but I'm trying to give a recap here.
Right.
This girl comes by the booth with her family, her dad, her mom, and it was just her dad and her mom. They come by the booth, and I said, "You look like you like to read." She's like, "I love to read." And I was like, "That's awesome." And she's like, "But I really like movies too." And I was like, "Okay, that's cool." So I end up pitching them the book and the movie. They end up buying it, and she's like, "Well, yeah." She's like, "I'm an artist." I was like, "Oh, right on." I said, "Well, what type of art do you do?" And so she shows a picture on her phone, and I'm like, "You did that?" She's like, "Yeah." I was like, "You're 16." She's like, "Yep." And I'm like, "This picture was so clean. It looked professionally studio made." And I'm like, "No way." And her mom's like, "Oh no." Like, she's like her dad. And then here they start pulling pictures out on their phone and start showing me pictures in their phone of work that she's done. She does anime. She does classic horror art. She does portraits, all this other stuff. And her dad does like abstract masks, like and imagery from that, and like refractive patterns and oscillation. And I was like, "What the crap are you guys doing?" And I looked at her and I was like, "Never stop drawing ever in your entire life. Every single day you draw a picture. Every day. Don't ever stop."
Yes, because you will end up because I used to be able to draw.
I'm not done with the story. Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh. Then her mom pipes up. And she's like, "Oh, hang on, I gotta show you this." She has a picture of her drawing Thanos, and it's about half finished. It's like from here up, and she's got her hand kind of in the way. But it's a full picture of Thanos. Yeah, she did that in the car on the way over. And I'm like, "What?" It takes her less than an hour to do these pictures. And I'm like, I hate you. I hate you, little girl. I cannot stand you. Have more talent in your pinky than I will have in my entire body for the rest of my life. I was blessed with a beautiful voice. And sometimes that doesn't work. F you, kid.
No, you were right about keep drawing and stay at it, because at one time, this is what I could do.
See, and that's awesome.
I can't do that no more.
That's Mr. Lovecraft himself, and I love it.
I can't do that no more. I had one. It was Lovecraft, and then I have trying to bring it back up.
There we go. Mr. Price, your table is ready. Yeah, and I appreciate the hell out of you being able to do that. Like, I could never draw faces.
Do it now. I've tried recently to get back into drawing, and I'm not.
I actually found out that people who can't draw faces but can draw everything else really well, like I can actually draw, shapes and figures and forms and movement. I can always depict it very well. But there's an actual thing for faces that certain artists, it's actually got a medical term where you can't picture faces. You can't get your hand to draw faces correctly, which is completely strange to me because I can remember somebody purely based on their face.
Well, see, the cool thing, one of the things that if you learn it, it makes it so much easier. When I was doing this stuff, was don't look at it as a face, just draw the shaded areas.
Yeah.
So if you're looking whatever, like all of the shading, or this camera's backwards. All of the shading here and all of that stuff. You fill all of that out, and then you come in and line out the rest of it.
So I also promised I would do this to my Fallout 76 fans. So been playing some Fallout 76, but run to a larger group of people. So shout out Entropy, Yak, Radio. It looks like I have 5 fingers on one hand, like this, like a very bizarre looking hand right now. Look how weird that looks. Really bizarre. Anyways, hold on a second. You're
but yeah, so we have been talking about Geek Public Radio, or we have been talking about Rutledge Productions over at Days of the Dead, as they were there promoting the Black Book. You can check out the Black Book at theblackbookmovie.com. You can also check out the new comic book and the Kickstarter that we have with that right now at theblackbookcomic.com. And it's got links to the Kickstarter. It's got some sample images. We just got word from the artist today that he is gearing in and getting everything done for to finish the first book. So that's what we're raising the money for, is to finish the first book. But the artist is on his way. He's been sending us some of the sketches and whatnot, and they look amazing. So now that I was able to pitch it, like I said, if you're interested, check out theblackbookcomic.com. We are generating, go sign up and help us out there at the on Indiegogo, and I think he's ready. All right,
I'm back. Yeah, like he was saying, helps out on our Indiegogo campaign so we can get this comic book done. We're very excited. Yeah, it looks so beautiful. I'm super stoked to get that done. But like I was saying, shout out to Entropy, Yak, Radio Lady, Carl. Oh wait, no, Stefan. Wait, no, Jamitha. That was it. Shout out to Jamitha. Shout out to Dutch, a Boyer. All you guys have been fantastic. Pizza Lord, if you even watch this, bro, shout out to you, my friend. Anyways, they have been awesome. But Jim Jam and Dutch talk way too much crap. Bunch of sassy ladies, and I disapprove. And I'm judging you from my podcast. So there you go. There's your shout out and your judgment all in one. You're welcome. All right. So 76 has got some new stuff coming out. Super excited about that. They are releasing a loot all button. And honestly, if they release nothing else, that's all I want. Please, just give me a loot all button. Please.
I would just be happy being able to play it on the computer.
You're not the only one having that problem, by the way. I talked to one of the guys I work with, and he had the exact same issue. He installed it, got it to run, loaded up a character, and then it never loaded.
I can't even get that. It just says there's no servers.
That's what it's doing to him.
Yeah.
Like, he starts it, and then it just sits there, and it says no server found, and it sits there for like 30 minutes looking for a server.
I have a gargoyle.
I see that. She's adorable. But yeah, we met some cool makeup artists. We met some regular artists. I really did have a lot of fun. I got to go into the best damn tattoo contest again, or that damn tattoo contest. I didn't win again. I am going to find Sean King at Black Sword Alliance in Muncie, and I'm going to have him touch up these tattoos the next time that we go to a Days of the Dead show.
Well, just tell him that you're what you want to do is
win a tattoo contest.
Yeah, no, to say, hey, look, there's a tattoo contest that we go to on a regular whatever. Wouldn't it be cool if you're the artist that would,
Yeah, bringing home some hardware, bro. Bobby. So I met Eddie, Machete Eddie from First Jason, and his brother Bobby. I got to meet them. So that was actually kind of cool. They were selling some merchandise. They were doing like some puzzle stuff. That was pretty awesome. And I finally bought zombies. I finally ran into her again. I finally got to buy zombies, and I bought some zombie little characters for my kids. So we're going to play some zombies. It's just a little starter pack game.
And by the way, Killers is in. It's sitting on the table.
Is it here? Oh, sweet. Yeah. Come on, Jeff. You were like the missing piece from this weekend, bro.
He said he missed it. He missed us up there.
Yeah. But I'll get a hold of Jeff, and I know they're from, excuse me. Oh my God, my heartburn. Good God almighty. Mercy. Super professional around here, guys. But I'll get a hold of Jeff. We should get a hold of him
my face.
Drag him and Mike up here and just have them sit down and play with us for sure. Because that'd be awesome.
Right. I have the perfect. Like eventually, I'm going to have it. It will look as perfect on camera as it is perfect for a game room to sit down and play and put on camera.
Agree. That's all that's missing from that game room. Honestly, put the camera overhead so you can see the top of the table, and then we could remote the camera.
Custom built game table with the recessed interior and all of that stuff.
Oh, the game table is amazing, man.
I'm still looking at it to put a couple electrical outlets in it.
We'll get there, maybe someday. Have to wire it to a 220. I don't know if we want to do
that. Don't know why we'd want to wire it to 220, but
Yeah, it's an appliance. It's an appliance.
Yeah.
That just sounded like the appropriate voltage. So, but yeah, that was pretty much my Days of the Dead, man. Just a lot of running around, eating food, meeting cool people, hanging out. Finally got to take Jassel up to a convention. She had an absolute ball. The hotel was nice. It definitely wasn't the creaky springs of the Econo Lodge Magnum Opus Light or whatever it was.
Right, but here's the funny part is we didn't make money in Chicago, but we made money because you stayed at the creaky springs.
Oh, because we stayed at the creepy.
So you actually made money instead of it all going to the hotel like this one did.
This one, I was gonna say. I knew those rooms were not expensive. Which, by the way, I have some thoughts on that, and I'll talk to you about it at off air.
It's the stuff that you don't really think about, because honestly, if you look at it, if you look at the thing, we have sold 200 and some books in the last couple conventions.
Yeah.
That's just 3 weekends.
Yeah.
And that many DVDs, we sold out of Blu-ray like almost immediately.
Yeah. Those did not last long.
And it was one of those I was like, told you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, I sat there with Don, and I was like, yeah, this is why we do Blu-ray, bro. He's like, we haven't sold any DVDs. I'm like, there's a reason for that, Don.
Yeah, because
The
people
dated-
were
it's a
picking
dated
up
format.
DVDs. They would have preferred Blu-ray.
Yeah. So, but it's good. We've got them for sale on the website at blackbookmovie.com. You can check them out there. Of course, don't forget to go to theblackbookcomic.com. Check that out. If you guys have any gaming needs, go to daysandnightsbooks.com. These are cool books. You get gaming accessories, dice trays, tables, anything that you could possibly use. And I'm clanking this stupid button around right in the microphone. So, yeah, check them out, daysandnightsbooks.com. The website is right. Yeah. I have to figure out where my camera is. It's weird. So, yeah, I got complaints about the button. Sorry. I apologize about the button. It's not something I was absent-minded. I was twiddling.
No, I've
And-
been doing that with this. Like,
Yeah.
as I've been
And I was
sitting
sitting
here.
there, it was going tink, 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 and I realized how close it was to the camera and the mic, and I was like, oh god, that's probably horrifyingly loud right now. So I apologize about the button, y'all. But yeah, we had an absolute blast at Days of the Dead, and I look forward to many, many more. I'm super excited. I think we're going to try to do Horror Hounds, maybe. Some
We
other
had
conventions.
we're on the wait list.
Someone will
for
cancel.
Horror Hounds
Everybody
Cincinnati.
inevitably cancels at some point.
Yeah,
So
we're on the wait list for Cincinnati. I'm waiting on DOD because that's July in Indianapolis.
Yep.
So I'm waiting on them for that to kick up, and then so we're going to make sure the table's there.
Yeah.
Horror Hound is in September, so I'm checking the dates to make sure that it isn't doesn't mesh with Scarefest.
Yeah.
It might be another one where you guys are doing Horror Hound up here, and then the next weekend you go down to Lexington.
Okay. Oh no.
But we're
Just my
trying for
arm.
Cincinnati. We're trying for the two in Indianapolis. We are in their books for Lexington again.
Yep.
And
Yeah, we got the almost the same booth spot. They're gonna pitch the booth locations to us again. Give us first come first serve. So we're on the list somewhere. And if there's a booth available in a specific location, I'm not gonna say where. Figure it out, you vultures. But if there's a specific booth location, I know exactly where I want it to be. So this time we'll face out in the walkway so that when people come around the corner, they don't walk by us and then turn back and go, oh, there's people there.
should just jump out and go, hey!
Hey, buy a book.
Get one big things that just rock back and forth.
Right.
And sit it in the thing. That way, as people come around the corner and just like, hi.
Be like, you should buy a movie. But yeah, really looking forward to it. I know you've been playing a lot. You were doing some New World streaming. That was yesterday, I think. You did some New World streaming. Next weekend, I'll be picking up New World, so I'll have that for myself. And I'll be able to play some of that with you. And Krista's already picked it up, so she's going to be playing. But we'll have some live streams, Crazy Chris Jassel and some Topher streams. That'd be super fun. Like all three of us stream together, and we'll run congruent streams, so you'll see all three of us. But we'll be able to cycle between whose screen you're watching or whatever. We'll just have to have somebody control that. Multi-stream. It's like a multi-pass, but cooler. And not as sexy because Mila Jovovich.
But
So,
no,
yeah.
So I'm glad you had a great time up there, hanging out with Alice Cooper and Richard Dreyfuss and.
This time, Bill noticed me. By the way.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Walked by and he was like, "Hey, you doing okay?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm doing okay." He goes, "It's good. It's good." He's like, "Oh, come over. You get some free time. Come over, talk to me." I was like, "Oh, okay."
I still got to get him the script. I have one left. I have. For those who don't know, I'm writing the script for a series that we wanted to pitch to him. He was interested. He liked it. He just wanted to actually see the script. But because he is a SAG actor, we have to do it under SAG rules. It more cost effective for us to shoot it like a feature film. So I'm actually having to go back through and collapse all of the scripts down, or at least 3 of the scripts down, into a feature film script that we can shoot. Yep. And then when we pitch as a series, we have it all edited down. We can show you as a series, yada, yada, yada.
Yep.
Then
pull it into an episodic feature as opposed to a,
Then it becomes the distribution company's headache on changing media. Well, changing media and paying for all of that. If we can get it pitched out to where it's no longer in our pocket.
Yeah. PGA.
Well, and then, I think did we talk about that last time that me and Don both qualify for the PGA? It's just a matter of getting the money to cover the cost of it.
We did. We talked about. I don't think we talked about it on air. I know you and I have had this conversation. Yes.
Right.
And
it's one of those things that I looked at it and went, I what? You don't say. Now I want to trying to explain that on my Christmas list.
So, I found a thing that I want to do to my card. By the way, I know I just got a whole bunch of them, but what I want to do to my cards, I want to put the voice actor, and then at the very bottom, like looped around the card, like it says "magnificent bearded bastard."
Well, you get in there. I have a little pen that you can just scroll that in on yourself.
That's 500 cards, man. I can't do that. That's too much. If I can find like a stamp.
A stamp.
And I put it line it up and place the card in there, stamp it down so that it's on there, but I don't have to write it.
Be like the librarian Indiana Jones in The Last Crusade.
Yeah. All right, man.
Ka-chong! But no, so yeah, I mentioned before we have the comic book coming out. We are fundraising for it right now on Indiegogo. You want to right there? If you look, this is our wonderful
campaign.
Black book campaign. We got a lot of cool stuff. Retailer packs, your name in a comic, your face in a comic, all of that stuff. That is look at that artwork though. I mean, come on.
It's gorgeous, man. Like the guys that you got to do this, man, they're incredible. Hey, do me a favor. Scroll down. Yeah. Show their faces up there again. Pull them up and show them up. So there we go. There's the one, there's the cover, there's the interior artist.
Yeah, Jonathan is now working on the rest of the first book.
Awesome.
We will have the next 10 pages in by probably the second week of December. We should have the first 10 pages all complete back to us. And Time is amazing. He's the cover artist. And it literally,
we got massive compliments on those posters, man.
I was like, I love the thing, and I go, would you be interested in doing the rest of them? He was like, that would be amazing. So he's just literally waiting for us to get the second, third, and fourth book done, so he can do the cover art, or at least the second book started, so he can do the cover art, and we can bring that out into another.
And I'm super looking forward to him doing those covers because his work is so good in the interior. I mean, they're just so freaking awesome, man. Like I'm ecstatic. I'm really hoping that people pay attention to this Indiegogo because it needs to be fine in my personal opinion. And I know I'm being biased here, but I honestly, I don't make a shred from this campaign. I don't make a shred of money. Nothing. This is
What's
not my
funny is
idea.
neither do I.
It's not my story. Yeah, right. We're not. This is the whole thing. Is like I've been pitching this, and I'm telling people, I'm like, no, this is just part of my studio, man. This is just like a really cool thing that we're trying to do to expand the mythos, and it's awesome.
And I
And
like how you
really
finally
hope it
got
gets going.
Don to start calling it the Black Book universe, and like he started to incorporate everything together like we had been planning. He's finally seems to be on board with that concept.
I think so. Right. I think so. Don's a very a very much a show me person. Like show me the money. Like show me how it
Show me.
works.
Yeah.
And then
And let me
he's on
think
board.
about it for a minute, and he'll get back to you like a month later, and like, oh,
Right.
that was a good idea. It's too late.
Or he'll. I think my favorite with Don is "We love you." By the way, buddy, this is out of love. We're roasting you because we love you. I think my favorite was when Don looks at you and goes, "Yeah, we'll I'll think about it." And then he'll like a month later he'll be like, I was thinking we could do blah blah blah. Yeah, Don, that's a great idea.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sounds fantastic.
So, yeah, man, comic, movie, book. I mean, all kinds of crazy stuff. And then we got more stuff in the pipeline, which is just even more incredible.
I'm hoping if a couple of my writers can get the last two stories in, that we could have letters from Marshalltown available before Christmas.
That'd be awesome.
I
thought we were going to maybe have to wait till the first of the year, but if we get it before Christmas, that's even cooler.
I'm literally out. We only have two stories left. So
all right, you talked me into it. I guess this weekend I know what I'm doing. I guess I know what I'm doing this weekend. So,
but hopefully by the next convention, and hopefully it's in March, that we'll have both the Black Book and the letters from Marshalltown, which I was explaining to Donna. He goes, "Well, it's all the Black Book universe." And I was like, "No, it's actually everything is set in Marshalltown or around in that unit, right? All of this stuff exists in this area, so you can get a chance to see the stories that have happened outside of our movies and whatnot, and the books by reading letters from Marshalltown."
Yep.
And in the comic book, hopefully we have at least 2 copies ready by March. If not, we will definitely have 1 copy or 1 issue ready for the convention.
That's the goal.
I'm hoping to since Don was drooling over the book stands that they have that tiered him.
Yeah.
Like we don't. I was like, I would love to have one of those too, but we don't have enough merchandise to put on them without it looking bare. So, like, hopefully by the time the next convention rolls around, we have enough written material to put up there and make it different.
Agree. All right, I'm out of material for tonight, man. Like I wanted to talk about Black Book, future project stuff that we got working on. Showcase some of the cool goodies that I got. I didn't even show everything. I just didn't want to I didn't want to dominate all the time. I took up like 20 something minutes and I was like, man, I'm taking up so much time right now.
Well, the only thing that I wanted to talk about was, we have all of these movie trailers that have been popping off in the last couple of weeks. And since we have not been able to actually do a show, this is the first show right before literally the night before Thanksgiving.
Oh, by the way, Ghostbusters Afterlife, if you haven't seen it yet, go see it right now. It's freaking amazing.
That's what I heard. Unfortunately, I'm stuck in a situation where I have to wait till it hits Prime.
Suck it up, Buttercup. Go die and see this movie.
Go die, watch the movie.
Go die.
No, but have you seen like the Spiderman Far From Home
I have.
trailer that dropped?
I did.
What are your thoughts about seeing Raimi's universe merging in with the MCU?
I think if you're going to explain how it happens and have a Spider-Man.
Well, they do explain how it happens. He wants to go back and
Yeah, he breaks. No, that's what I'm saying. I think if you're going to explain how it happens, that into the Spider-Verse, how that actually occurs in a production format, this is the best way to do it, and it makes sense.
I mean, that's one thing that they haven't been not telling everybody. I mean, they showed the him going to Strange and saying, just make people forget that I'm Spider-Man. I don't want everybody. And then he messes up the ritual and collapses the world.
Right. The one that I saw is is MJ falling,
Mm-hmm.
and he's
my brain went to that comic book too.
Well, even the third Spider-Man, or the second, or the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, where MJ's falling down the bell tower, and he hits her with the web to catch her, and just ends up snapping her spine and killing her, breaking her neck. And that's when her dad gets all pissed off and does his thing. But
yeah, that was when I saw that, and my brain went directly to the comic where she's falling off the bridge.
Like instantly, the second I saw that, I was like, no.
Right. I'm trying to figure out what comic or what the because we had the Venom suit. We seen the black suited Spider-Man, but he also has like some weird tech thing that's on like that did whatever. So I'm trying to figure out where that was from.
Didn't Tony Stark figure out how to weaponize the symbiote?
I don't remember.
A Venom Iron Man suit?
I don't remember.
I don't either.
But that was because I was looking at that. I was like, okay, that looks like a mix between like the Venom Spider-Man and Noir Spider-Man and something else. Because like I said, the tech just only went bloop, and then like folded out with this holographic stuff over his.
Yeah, I'm not real sure. I just know I'm taking my daughter to go see that because she's a huge Spider-Man fan. So
it is definitely on my list of things that I want to try to get to see. I watched Shang-Chi.
Right.
And it wasn't terrible. Like I actually I liked it. You got to see the Mandarin again, and you got to see like the real Mandarin.
I was wondering.
It's always a fun movie when Slattery's involved.
Right.
Which, sitting back the way you are, you kind of have that look going on. Just saying.
I can't do it.
You have the Slattery thing going on, right now. But along those lines,
I'm excited to see the new Spider-Man. I really am. I think it's going to be. I enjoyed the last two. I don't see them completely screwing this one up. But hey, Marvel's let us down before, so.
Well, like I said, I'm looking forward to that. I still want to see Carnage. I still want to see. There's a lot of movies that I'm slow to seeing because of having to wait for them to come into the house. Unfortunately.
Yeah, it's a thing, but hopefully things will get better soon. You got the meds.
It has gotten me the ability to work on way more stuff. Since I've been sick, I've gotten way more stuff done than I have in a long time.
Right.
I wrote an entire comic book script. I ended up, I have 2 comic book scripts,
which I read, by the way, looks good.
I have the movie script. I'm working on the last bits of it. I have I wrote enough stories that with you and like one story or 2 stories from you, 1 story from Stuart, and a story from a really talented author from Brazil. I want to say, I can't remember off the top of my head. Argentina, maybe. we have all of his, like, we were literally, able to almost able to put out a book within 3 months. No, just me being stuck at home and writing. So
Yeah, I wish I had that problem. Not the ones that you have, but like being stuck at home to write, like it'd be nice. But
yeah, no, it would
yeah, I
it
think
would be nice to be getting paid to sit here and write.
right. No kidding. All right, brother.
But all right, before we go, just one last time, check out Days and Nights Books, Days and Nights Books.com. That's Days with a Z, and Nights with a K, books.com. If you become a member of the Geek Public, blah 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 blah. My mouth. Become a member of Geek Public Radio for it's just $5 a month, and for $5 a month, you can also get a discount if for memberships. Over at the thing. He had to go away and laugh, but the if you become a member, it's $5. You get 10% off all your purchases at Days and Nights. So check it out.
You started roboting right when you started doing the blah blah blah. It was the greatest thing ever. I wish that the robot voice would come through in the broadcast. Blah 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 blah.
All right, you remember to check out Rutledge Productions, rutledgeproductions.com. That is the studio that allows us to do all of these really cool movies, and they're helping us out with the comic book and all of the other stuff. So check out rutledgeproductions.com. And, of course, the Black Book from Rutledge at theblackbookmovie.com. And remember, you can also check out so much more. I am so trying to get this up because I forgot about it.
Blackbookmovie.com, where you can check out, pick yourself up a copy of the book, the Blu-ray, the DVD. You can also get the links onto the blackbookcomic.com, and you can find the Indiegogo campaign there. So that's definitely worth checking out, the blackbookmovie.com. It also has the Amazon Prime link that you can watch the movie for yourself. If you do have Amazon Prime, it is free. So make sure you check that out. And then, of course, always go down to
I know it's tough. You're like,
go to the Black Book movie the Black Book. See, blah 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 blah. Go to the blackbookcomic.com and make sure you check out all of the insane things that are happening with that comic book. But from the middle of nowhere, Indiana, I have been Crazy Chris.
I'm Topher, and we will see you hopefully not in next month.
We'll be doing more. Peace, y'all.
See ya.